Hello, and welcome to a book review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Metawars #1, Fight for the Future by Jeff Norton. First of all, this is a brilliant book. I enjoyed it so much. It follows the main character here. His name is Jonah Delacroix. And basically there are two sides. There are the Millennials and the Guardians. And there's also this place called the Metasphere, which is like a better version of the world, where most people, they plug themselves into terminals and they can go to the Metasphere and have a good time and forget about all their troubles. So, there are the Millennials and there are the Guardians. Now, the Millennials are the guys that believe that the creator of the Metasphere, Matthew Granger, should have control of the Metasphere at all times. And then there are the Guardians, and Jason Delacroix is a Guardian, and they are the people who believe that Matthew Granger should not have control of the Metasphere, and that it should be a free world where you can be free to do anything you want. Which is fair enough. I'm a Guardian. But anyway, Jonah's dad, Jason, is dead. And in the Metasphere, you have these things called avatars, which are like representations of you, but they're not. Like, they could be animals, they could be shapes, they could be words, they could be anything. And Jonah's dad's avatar was a big red dragon. Now, Jonah's dad is dead, but when Jonah goes to the Metasphere and visits the old gift shop that his family used to own in the Metasphere, which has been destroyed, some millennials who want Matthew Granger to have control of the Metasphere again, they find out that Jonah is there in the gift shop, and they attack it, and he jumps down into the basement, and he finds his dad's old avatar, which is the big red dragon, but it's not actually his avatar, it's a recorded message, and basically Jonah has to, he has to filter his dad's avatar, which means he has to take on his dad's avatar, which will give him his dad's memories and stuff, because there is a war coming that his dad knew about, but Jonah didn't. And Jonah knows that filtering an avatar means that you will die if you are caught. But he also realises that there's a war coming up, and he always trusts his dad, so he knows that he's not lying. So he decides to go ahead and filter his dad's avatar. So he becomes his dad's avatar, but he still has his own avatar. It's strange, it's like he's in disguise. It's difficult to explain without getting complicated. But basically, there are four corners of the Metasphere, and Jonah's dad knew where all of them were. And the idea is that the Guardians, which Jonah's a Guardian, as are another main character called Sam, who is a girl, and her avatar is a unicorn. The idea is that they want to take back each of the four corners of the Metasphere. Now, these four corners are places that were set up to create the Metasphere, so they're all connected. you know, like the four corners of the earth or whatever, but in the metasphere they're actually connected, because it's a digitally produced world. And so the millennials are trying to take back the four corners from the Guardians, because they believe Matthew Granger, who created the metasphere, should be in charge once again. But Matthew Granger is kind of like a dictator. So, you know, straight away you know that shouldn't be happening. He shouldn't have control. And Jason, who is Jonah's dad, his avatar relays messages to Jonah, and from this, Jonah discovers that his dad had a friend called Mr. Chang, and Jonah goes and visits Mr. Chang. Mr. Chang tells him about the four corners and everything, and says that he's created a device that will create a new metasphere to save everyone from the destruction of the metasphere if it's taken back by the millennials. So this thing is called the Chang Bridge, and Jonah goes to Mr. Chang and receives the Chang Bridge, which is a small, like, USB type device, with LED lights on it or whatever. And then him and Sam go to a part of the metasphere called the Southern Corner, which is basically Ayers Rock. But in this story, Ayers Rock was brought by Mr. Chang, and then Mr. Granger, Matthew Granger, the evil one, brought it off him and used it to create one of the four corners. And inside Ayers Rock, he's built like a massive computer system. Yes. And so Jonah and Sam go to the Southern Corner, i.e. Ayers Rock, and a battle ensues between them and about 20 other Guardians and about 20 millennials. And basically, the Guardians win. Yay! I am Team Guardian. I'm Team Jonah and Sam. Anyway, they win, and they take back the Southern Corner. But then things start to go wrong, and a part of the Southern Corner gets destroyed. This is called the Island of the Uploaded, which is where, instead of dying, people can upload themselves, which means they're stuck there forever, but it's a beautiful island, and they don't know the difference, and it means they don't have to die. So this part of the Southern Corner gets destroyed, and Jonah realises he has the Chang Bridge on him, and he plugs it into the server in Ayers Rock, and it creates a bridge between the Island of the Uploaded and the new metasphere, which is called the Chang Sphere, which is a better, more beautiful and free and non-controlled metasphere. And then by doing this, they save quite a lot of the population, which are from the Island of the Uploaded, and then they take back control of the Southern Hemisphere, and that's where I've got up to. Well, I have finished it. I say that's where I've got up to because this is the next book, The Dead Are Rising, which I'm not actually going to be reading straight away. I will explain why in a minute. Just to let you know, I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a brilliant story, very easy to follow, really good. There's like a war and everything. It was really beautifully written, and I flew through it. It's a brilliant book. And like I said, I'm sorry I won't be reading this one yet. This is the second book, as you can tell. 2.0. Yeah, I won't be reading that because I need to read something first. So, before I read number 2, I'm going to be reading Dive Bombing by Bernard Ashley, which is an amazing cover and spine. Now I'm reading this because my friend met Bernard Ashley and said that he told Bernard Ashley that I would be interested in a book like this. So Bernard Ashley gave him a copy to give to me. So this is my copy from Bernard Ashley. Unfortunately it's not signed or anything, which is a shame. But yeah, I thought I'd read this, you know, as a homage to Bernard Ashley for giving me one. And then I'll read Metawars 2. So I give myself a little break from Metawars because it was very full on, but it was brilliant though. And the third Metawars book, which is called Battle of the Immortal, comes out very soon. So I'll be ordering that on pre-order as well. And I think in this one they're going to take back another corner of the Metasphere, because they've already taken back the southern corner, and Jonah, the main character, knows where all the other corners are, but he hasn't told anyone. So I reckon there's going to be more battles between the Millennials and the Guardians, and they're going to take back more corners. If so, that means there's going to be 4 books in total, which will be awesome. But yeah, so I'm going to be reading this one next. So thank you Bernard Ashley, and thank you Chris for getting me this. Yeah, and I'll have a review of this up when I've read it. So that's all from me today. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again soon.